It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's over. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the stores. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh my
lovely.
God.
I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Thursday. It's almost the weekend. It is almost All-Star weekend. Football may be over, but we're not stopping. It is the Korner Booth pregame. Dallas Goedart, Michael Irvin, Des Bryant episode. I don't know. Give me some more famous 88s here. Either way, we have two special guests coming on today. Our first one has arrived rocking his own chain, his own jersey. He's the man who does our intro. One of my close personal friends, Mr. Maserati. Buddy, how you doing?
Thank you. Doing great. Yourself?
Oh my God, I'm enjoying my vacation away from recording regular podcasts. I don't have to record a regular show until March 2nd. I'm loving this. I get about 3 weeks of vacation from recording pods every year, and this is 2 of those 3 weeks. So I thoroughly enjoy it. But my man, welcome back. I know the last time we had you on, I think it was week 4 of the NFL season. That was a lot of heartbreak for all of our teams ago, plus a Rams win. Before we talk some NBA, how'd you feel about the Super Bowl? I saw on your story you were with a lot of Rams fans.
Yeah.
What was the environment like in that party, man?
I mean, it was great. I did a parlay on the Rams and ended up cashing out big. So it was pretty awesome. And obviously, I'm very happy for Odell Beckham. Not happy because obviously he tore his ACL, but the fact that he finally got a ring. And Stafford as well, too. Well-deserved. Aaron Donald as well.
Yeah, I mean, I had so much gambling money on the freaking Bengals. It was all right. It was all right. I felt good for Stafford and Donald. I thought I had a Hail Mary there at the end of winning all my money back if Donald won the MVP, and I just gave the fucking cup.
It was close, though. It was close.
OBJ is like 5th in line of people I'd be happy for winning a ring.
Well, you remember, he's also a Giants fan, so it's like...
Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know. He's behind Stafford. He's behind Donald. He's behind Kupp. He's behind Whitworth. I'm so happy for Whitworth getting a ring.
Yes, me too. That
Fun
was
fact,
and
who was the head coach of his college team when he won the national title, and who was the quarterback?
I'm guessing Nick
Saban.
Yeah, because he was drafted in 06.
03.
03? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the Natty was 03. I didn't know if he was
drafted.
drafted.
Oh, yeah, he was drafted in 03. His final game at LSU was in 03. And the quarterback was Jamarcus Russell.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, then.
Jamarcus Russell won a Natty as a freshman?
I think he was okay, he might not have been the starter then. Crap, you're right. That was 2 years removed. Either way, we have another guest joining us. Okay, he is one of the best basketball writers I know, the lead basketball man here at Belly Sports. That was the midweek mid-range and devoted Houston sports fan, Mr. Parker. Parker, how we doing? And also, folks, me and Parker have one thing in common as well. We talk sneakers. Every time I get in there, I hit him up. I'm like, yo, check what I just copped. And if you couldn't tell from behind him, there it is. Parker, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I had a little technical difficulty, but we're here. I'm here. How y'all doing?
It's okay, man. The guy Mr. Maserati, of course, the guy who does our intro, he literally was like frozen in on a 30-second time delay before the show started. So we're all having difficulties.
Literally.
All right, so God. It's not just me. Yeah,
no, it's everyone's having troubles today. Parker, how you been, man?
I'm good. I have to say I appreciate, as I was, logging in and stuff, hearing the Andre Whitworth shout out. The Jamarcus Russell was a name drop I did not anticipate for today. I hadn't thought about the guy in a long time.
By the way, a slept-on documentary by Bleacher Report, by the way. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's actually pretty interesting. Dude's life is actually fucking depressing. Like, even like before he got caught, like the dude had some serious issues in his life, and it did not help him whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know people that stick with the lean because they're happy about life. That's not
literally.
It's not typically the path they take.
Oh my lord. Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us, of course, this show is brought to you by the amazing people at YeatsOfficial.com. If you want a pair like myself or Kevin's, I know Mr. Maserati also owns a pair as well. Go
Correct.
check them out. Promo code Korner with 10% off. They keep adding and adding styles. I actually have another pair on the way for spring, maybe spring vacation shenanigans, whatever I am getting myself up to. Either way, go check them out. YeatsOfficial.com. Promo code Korner Booth. They are our good friends. They are, all, of course, our biggest sponsor, our favorite sponsor, actually. So there you go. All righty. So, gents, we were talking, Park, do you want anything else on the Super Bowl? You want to add anything, last comments before we move on to start talking a lot of basketball? Because I'm actually going to chop into the bit for this. My team's not terrible this year.
I typically ask, like, what's your favorite commercial? But I feel like you're just flipping a coin between, like, crypto and electric cars. Like, that's all there was. So I don't know what else to ask.
The talking baby is back.
The talking baby is back. The Soprano Chevy commercial is badass as fuck, too. Also, by the way, I actually was able to QR code that freaking Coinbase shit because all my buddies, we were all watching the game around my living room. It's like 12 of us, and I'm literally watching the game. And I go, and they're like, "What the fuck is this bouncing?" I'm like, "I got this. I get it." He goes, "It's fucking Coinbase." It opened my Coinbase app. I'm like, "Motherfucker!" So you know what? I was just like, screw this. But listen, man, they probably made $1 billion off the data mining they got from that site.
Yeah, that's probably the real key there.
So I would say Sopranos was definitely my favorite. I barely watched the commercial this year because when I was having so many people over, when I wasn't watching the game, I was going to get food, getting a beer, seeing if everyone was having a good time. I didn't realize how exhausting hosting is.
Dude,
I made like 3 different flavors of wings and kielbasa, man. I went all out this year.
That is a lot. That's a lot. That's fair.
I barely watched the commercials because I was violently hungover all day.
Wow, fair enough.
I mean, Kev, do you want to share with them any of your stories from Saturday?
Nope. We don't need to talk about how I called someone at 11 o'clock, decided it was a bad idea, hung up, then they called me back, and I missed it, and then they called me back again. And there's a 30-second conversation that I don't know what it was about. I'm concerned.
It's okay. I found out that a 50-year-old whiskey hits like a sledgehammer.
Wow.
I had a $500 glass of whiskey at a friend of mine's house on Saturday for his birthday. It was his 43rd birthday. And my dad is a package designer. He had a bottle of Old Forester 1954. And it tasted like the gods. It was the best whiskey bourbon I've ever had. And I'm literally sitting there. I drank. I had my 2.5 fingers. I had maybe 3 or 4 beers at this point. But that's like, I'm like, give me an hour. I could drive after that. I passed a DUI. That's nothing. And then I have a glass and a half of that. And I'm sitting there around the fire. I'm like, oh, that just hit me. I started scoring my words and everything.
Yeah, I want you to know, 1954 was not 50 years ago.
I know, 60.
Yeah.
70.
Yeah,
closer to 70.
68.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, literally.
Well, I mean, I'm saying I always make that mistake. Every time I'm referencing a year or anything, I always reference it like I'm still in the early 2000s. I don't know why that is with me, but I've been doing it my entire life.
It's because we're old. We're old. That's
I'm 27. I turned 27 a month from today. I am literally like, geez, I'm fucking old.
I'm the youngest one here.
Yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah.
And you're still the most cynical here.
That's what happens. Your mom doesn't love you.
Yikes.
At least my mom loves you.
That's true. Other moms love me. Mine just happens not to.
That's a weird statement. There's
Well, I mean,
all
it's
kinds of ways to take that one.
Well,
Cougars
the thing
love
is, like, my mother's offered to adopt Kevin like 15 different times.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I think only in ceremonial purposes. 'Cause I don't think she could put up with his bullshit for 24 for like as many days as I do. But you know,
Your mom loves me. I did a puzzle with her on vacation, so she loves me and always will know.
my poor mother was actually was injured. She hurts her leg, and Kevin. Well, I'm at the gym, and my cousin is sleeping until 11 o'clock in the fucking morning. And Kevin is sitting there with her, just doing a puzzle. And I'm just like, you know what? You're my fucking hero, dude. Because I felt horrible leaving her home alone. But you allowed me to get a workout in peace. That was nice. Until I had to go on a rodeo looking for like 6 different ingredients. But that's just vacation with the Clem House, man. Come on.
Literally.
No, Maggie. No, that's not a new record. The longest it went was 32 minutes. We went without a mom joke. The record was 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, this was last year's Thanksgiving show. He made it 3 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Oh my god! And the record for total amount of mom jokes in a show was when I think was it Mookie or Scott we had on the first time, and there was like 12 made within a 5-minute span.
Oh, I don't know. It might have been Scott because I feel like that's something I would do because Mookie wouldn't care. Scott might have a negative reaction to it, so I feel like I would make more with him.
True. I mean, I've been busting Mike Berline's balls for like the last 2 weeks because he gets all offended now that I said Mookie and Scott are GOAT guests. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. You cancel on us every 5 fucking times we invite you.
Damn.
So I know he's on dad duty. I get it. It's okay. But, you know.
Yeah, just abandon your kids like my mom did, Mike. Jesus.
And there it is.
It's not that hard.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Oh my
This
God.
is all so much realer than like anything Evan Sports. Every time Kevin talks, I'm like, I think that's a joke. I really, oh God,
You get
oh
used to
God.
it. It's okay now. It's so funny, Parker. We're on vacation now, right? So the 3 of us are all in the same. Me, Maserati, and Kev are all on the same breakfast table. I make a dad joke in front of my own father, a mom joke in front of my own father. My dad looks at me like I just dropped a racial slur. He's like so disgusted with me, and I'm like, Dad, it's okay. I got clearance.
I think it was either you or your sister he was yelling at because one of you swore, and he's like, "You kiss your mother with that mouth." And I went, "Does that mean I could say whatever I want?"
Let's be real. It was fucking me. Come on. I curse every 3 words.
it was
Fair.
that was.
I may have a heart of gold, but I have a mouth of a trucker. So
That's it. It's a good trade-off, I think, right? That's
yeah,
okay.
right? It's okay. The one time was I cursed in front of a client when I was working in the financial business, and the guy's like, "Oh, thank God you're not one of those guys with your stick up your ass." I'm like, I was sipping on a glass of whiskey he gave me when I was at his house. I spit it out. I was laughing so hard. He goes, "Yeah, my last financial analyst is like his 85-year-old guy. And he was going on this whole rant about. He goes, "Yeah, he just stick up his ass." I said Jesus Christ in front of him when I was looking at my numbers. This is the story the guy's telling me. He goes, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir." Language. And he goes, and so he looks at me and he goes, "You know, it's kind of refreshing hearing a young guy with earrings and tattoos cursing in front of me talking about my money." And I'm like, I couldn't tell if he was sarcastic or not, but I still took it as a compliment. Oh my God. All right. Oh Jesus. All right. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend is tomorrow. You got my boy Anthony Edwards in the rookie challenge. You got my boy Cat in the shootout. Even though I feel like D'Lo should be in there too, the amount of threes that dude shoots. But either way, my Wolves are not bad at the All-Star break. The apocalypse has come.
Give it time.
Do you also claim Andrew Wiggins? Can you claim that as like a halfway?
I'm happy for Andrew Wiggins. He's one of my favorite players. But at the same time, it's like he doesn't play for my fucking team, so I don't care. It's not like when Garnett left, where Garnett is like one of my personal heroes. So I had a Garnett Boston jersey. I'll fully admit it. The only jersey, basketball, I had a lot of McGrady jerseys and a J Rich and a Vince Carter. I had a lot of different NBA jerseys, but football and baseball are the only one. Oh, I had an A-Rod jersey. Football.
This is adding up.
Okay, football is the only jersey that come oh no, fuck. I know what you're saying. Never mind. I'll ignore my statement. I know what you're
Also, I get why you love Kevin Garnett so much because he didn't team up with other superstars like they do now.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm so happy the Celtics won a ring in my lifetime. I hate that team so much for what they've done after retiring. they act like they're better than the Warriors at 173. They act like they're better than the 86 Celtics. They act like they're better than the 95
Okay,
Bulls.
Kobe took him to 7. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just Kobe and that Spanish guy. I keep forgetting it now.
Pau Gasol, that Spanish guy.
I'm being sarcastic, obviously. This draws back one time. Me and Mr. Maserati here got into almost a screaming match over who was better, Chris Bosh or Pau Gasol in the prime. Because it was a LeBron Kobe argument that we got into, and I'm very pro Kobe and anti LeBron, so that's why I was like, going at him about it. But I was arguing Chris Bosh was 1,000 times better than Pau Gasol at his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because I feel like Chris Bosh's game had more flexibility to it, where Pau was very just your typical pick and roll, mid range jumper, rebounds, big man. But that's my opinion. All right, anything else? The dunk contest, honestly, I was talking to Kevin about this before the show. It's not a lot of big names if you don't follow the sport.
It hasn't been big names for a while, though.
I know the last big names I think were Levine and Gordon, right?
Yeah.
Well, and frankly, they were big names because of the dunk contest. Like, they hadn't done a whole lot yet besides that up to that point.
Well, I mean, so I'm looking at it right now. Obi Toppin from the Knicks. I know that name because of what he did in college. Duke can slam it. It's just going to be like, is it going to be a lot of big man dunks? Like, I want to see how athletic this guy is. He could be an Aaron Gordon. I could be like blown away. I don't really know how athletic this dude truly is. I feel like when you're playing a game, you're not really going crazy with your explosiveness. We've got Jalen Green from the Rockets. That motherfucker can fly. So yes. I'm expecting something ridiculous out of him. I know you're a Houston boy, so I knew you were going to get hype about that. Cole Anthony. See, I'm a Tar Heels basketball fan. I didn't even know this motherfucker could dunk, much less participate in a dunk contest. So I'm interested to see where this goes. And then Juan Toscano Anderson from the Warriors. To quote my guy Deuce from Broadcast Boys, "Ho!"
I would argue Toscano Anderson's like the fourth Warrior I'd want in the dunk contest. I don't know what he's doing.
Like there's fucking Wiggins in the dunk contest. That guy can jump off the building.
Wiggins or Kuminga or there's a number of guys. Obviously like I'm pulling for Jalen Green as a rookie and he's a Rocket and all that kind of stuff. You mentioned you're a Tar Heel. Like Cole Anthony is going to have the like visual thing though. He's only like 6'2". Like if he can get up and do something, like he's going to be in the air for a while.
I think that's how Donovan Mitchell won it 2 years ago. It's just like it's the same kind of concept where it's going to be he's smaller so he can fly through the air. Where Obi Toppin's going to have to do something fucking ridiculous to get like but then again, I feel like if you get tall enough, like Dwight Howard, Aaron Gordon, they give you more points for doing crazy shit because you're so tall.
Well, and like you can do different things. I just think like people get enamored with like the guys flying through the air, and like Cole Anthony just has to go farther in the air than everyone else does. Like that's a weird advantage.
I'm still at the point where I'm like, this guy can dunk. Like I watched him play 15 total games for the Tar Heels. I think I watched 4 of them on TV. And I'm just like, I was like underimpressed with how good this kid was. And of course for the draft, I just gave him 2 middle fingers and kept walking. I was like, all right, whatever. Enjoy playing for a bottom feeder team, dude. And I didn't even know this guy could. I know his dad could fly, but I didn't even know he could dunk. So I was like, this should be an interesting concept. I'm just excited for Jalen Green. That dude is a freak. The only thing that would have been better is Lonnie Walker from they played ball at the U. I want to see him in it. That dude I watched dunk over a man once his knee hit the guy in the face. I was just like, can we I get it, like power dunkers are fun, but like anybody who has a vertical of like 45 inches, I just want in the dunk contest for pure like freak shit we're gonna see. Mm-hmm. But Kev, what are you thinking?
First off, you cannot throw up the U for when talking about Miami basketball. You just can't do that. I know you're a Miami football fan because it makes no sense, but if you're
Miami football, baseball, everything except for basketball, I'm showing love. It is.
When does the Miami baseball season start?
February.
Like it is February. Can you be a little more specific?
I'm thinking I think college baseball starts in like a week or two? Usually mid-February.
Tomorrow.
Cool. I think ACC Network carries their games, so I actually might watch college baseball. Is fun, by the way, if you haven't watched it yet.
Well, if you're a baseball fan, there's nothing else to watch.
Yeah, that's what you can fucking watch because Manfred's a fucking tool.
Unfortunately.
But what I think of the dunk contest is
I do not care.
Me neither.
I do not care about the dunk contest. We've seen it all before. Unless we have a dude like Spud Webb walking out there at 5'6" and winning it, I don't care.
Or Vince Carter.
I mean,
Well,
Vince
but
Carter
anything that's if someone did the same stuff as Vince Carter, it's not interesting. You
Yeah.
need to bring out the fucking hoverboard and dunking it from a handoff from the mascot now because you can't do cool new stuff with dunks anymore.
he's got a point. I mean, I feel like the only problem with the dunk contest is that it's not even about the creativity, athleticism anymore. Like Zach LaVine did it between the legs from the free throw line. I think that's like the peak of physical athleticism with a trick at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know how you top that with just like overall hops. So, oh man, it's just as much as
I feel like
hate
there's gonna
everyone
have to be
point, I mean,
something like creative though, right? Like
Yeah.
when Gordon took the ball from the mascot on the that was just difficult. Like it wasn't necessarily like he didn't have more bounce than Levine or whatever. It's just like that looks really hard to do. I don't know.
Or maybe have like I'm almost thinking maybe like a guy from the crowd chucks like a long distance pass or something like that.
Yeah, insert
would
random
not
crowd
trust-
guy.
I would not trust a random fan to do that. That sounds like an easy way to end your career.
Yeah.
But there's just got like what creative thing, because I think you're right. Like no one's gonna like jumping from 15 feet away and going between your legs is like, okay, like figure something else out. That's all we can do. Like I just don't know what that difficult thing's gonna be. I think it's weird that it continues to be like Jalen Green just turned 20. Cole Anthony is like 21. Like Toscano Anderson's also like his second year in the league, but he went to college for all four, so he's like 23, 24. Like these guys are really young. Like what are we doing? These are clearly not the best dunkers in the NBA. What are we doing?
Well, I mean, a G League guy did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I got the call.
It's because veterans do not care.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like the dunk contest used to be like some cool
anything else.
Well, it's so funny to me because like I get like with the Pro Bowl with the NFL, it's like they're worried about injuries, but with the dunk and the home run derby, you guys don't want to fuck up your swing. I get that.
Yeah.
But the dunk contest is just fun. It used to be like this crazy event that meant something. When I was a kid, I used to like sneak downstairs and watch the dunk contest. I remember, I think it was Steve Nash off the head to Stoudemire. It was like one of the first ones I remember watching live. I think I caught the back end of Jay Rich's second one when I was like, I think 8, or 9, whatever. It was 02, 03. So I think it was 8. Either way, it's just like those memories stick with me. Like I used to love, like I remember voting with the Sprite text thing when they just with Dwight Howard versus Nate Robinson. Like,
yes,
that shit used to be so much fun.
His Nokia flip phone.
And my best memory though is my Timberwolves were like one of the worst teams in the league, as they usually used to be. And Zach LaVine beating Aaron Gordon. And I hopped over my fucking dorm room couch because me and my 4 roommates were watching that shit in our common room in our suite. And I jumped over the couch. I was screaming like I was also hammered, but I was screaming like a jackass. Running down. I'm like, yo, we fucking won one. Let's go.
Also, do they get anything for winning the dunk contest?
I think they get
like a couple $100,000.
I think you get a monetary bonus or something like that. Or
in the grand scheme of things, it's more about the title. I think part of the deal.
Sorry, Parker.
No, I would say I think part of the deal is like, if it's just about a title, like, does any actual dunker want to not like? You don't want to show up and lose, right?
But that's also the title doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like the 3-point contest, honestly, that title means more because people look at it and go, oh, he was like one of the best 3-point shooters that year, and he won the 3-point contest. The home run derby in baseball, if you win that adds, that adds to your legacy.
Yeah.
I mean,
the dunk contest doesn't. People just go,
I feel
like jump high when he was younger. It doesn't
like,
help a Hall of Fame argument.
I feel like with Vince Carter and Jay Rich, it does. I mean, Jay Rich is a Hall of Famer, but
the
Vince
title
Carter
doesn't. The moments did. The dunks they did
Nate
are remembered, but
Nate Robinson
winning it didn't.
But getting knocked out by one of the Paul brothers doesn't.
Yeah. I feel like Dwight Howard was. It's like you're saying about individual dunks though. Like Dwight Howard actually like probably puts it on his resume because his resume is a little bit shorter. I feel like the farther back you go, like it was on Jordan's resume, right? Like he won it twice, right?
But like it's on the bottom of the Air Jordan 10, Parker. Like that should tell you what you need to know.
Yeah,
I'll go get my Seattle 10s right now. I'll read it right off. It says it third. I think it's the third stripe down. 88 dunk contest champ.
So it's a marketing tool.
That's
That's what it is. Then you can, if you get a shoe, you can use it to market the shoe.
Exactly. Listen, if
there's the financial though.
Listen, like if you a guy with an emerging shoe
people
deal,
are gonna buy that shoe regardless. It didn't have to say 88 dunk
modern basketball shoes. Yeah. I mean, modern basketball shoes have gotten weird. Like, it's not like back in the day where like people wanted like Pippins, Jordans, Barkleys, all that stuff like that. Now it's like, I mean, like even new LeBrons, like, oh god, like I don't know. Did you see the new ones they just dropped, Parker, with the ones like you could etch it off and the graphics underneath it and stuff?
Yeah, and it like it's almost getting too niche and too performance based. Where like I'm not an elite basketball player. I'm a 30-year-old teacher. Like I don't need it to like perform. I need it to look good, and that's just a basic difference, you know.
Well, I mean, like I mean, take it from the resident with the guy with his little rap name around his neck. I mean, like it's all about fashion. I mean, Maserati, I've catch you wearing 7s, 6s. I think you wear a pair of 5s before. I've seen you rocking.
Yeah, right.
You know, my collection's a lot of 13s, 3s, and 11s.
Mm-hmm.
But like to me, like the most modern basketball shoe I own is a pair of Carmelo throwbacks from 2005. The NBA Street colorway. Like, but those are a hybrid of like Jordan's 1s and 2s. So it's like modern shoes don't have the fashion appeal except for Kobe's.
The Kobe, I was gonna say, is an interesting crossover. It was like the high point of like fashion meeting performance. It was low tops. It was the big swoosh on the side. And frankly, if you look across the league, like dudes that don't have their own shoe wear Kobe's. Like
literally.
And you know what's so funny? I also catch a lot of dudes rocking 11s and 10s when they're balling, like in the league now. For some reason, those are the two shoes everyone gravitates to, and I can see it because I have a pair of 10s, I have a pair of 11s. I might get a pair of 11 lows for the summer. I see why, because like if I'm walking around, I feel like very stable and secure in those sneakers. I was rocking a pair of 8s the other day. I was walking around like, Jesus, no, how do you ball in these things? They're so clunky.
I think that 11s and 10s are the only retros that I see people actually play. Like PJ Tucker, I guess, plays in like whatever, right? But
I saw him playing. Did he play in Yeezy 2s once, or was that Nick Young?
He's played in everything, yeah.
Everything. I mean, I have a pair of the remastered T-Mac 3s. I rocked them today while I was going out, and
nice.
They put Adidas bounce at the bottom of them, which is great because they're super comfy now. I remember as a kid though, those things were like the top of the line basketball shoe when I was like 9 years old.
And the Iversons too.
Oh yes, the Iversons too. But I feel like if you're an emerging star with like a good shoe, I like LaMelo. I like his kicks right now. I love the
Pumas.
Pumas, those are fire. Those are fuego. I like those. If he was actually I know he's not like Anthony Edwards athletic, but he wasn't athletic enough to be in a dunk contest. I would try to find a way to market that shit.
Okay.
Like that's the way I look at it. If like you're an emerging star with a shoe deal, fuck yeah, do the dunk contest. Because look at MJ. Made the Air Jordan 3 is like synonymous with the 88 dunk contest. They have a free throw line Jordan 3.
Yeah. The guy that could do it would be 3-point contest. It'd be like Trae Young, right? Like he's got a sneaker.
Yeah.
He's got like I don't know that I would buy a 3-point contest sneaker the same way I'd buy a dunk contest sneaker.
Maybe a shooter sleeve, but
right, something. Yeah.
All right, who's your pick for the dunk contest? We'll go around quick round table. I know Kevin's gonna say I don't care, but I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna take Jalen Green. I'm gonna take the Houston boy. Dude can fly out of the building. I think second place is going to be Obi Toppin. I think that dude is sneakily going to like do some ridiculous big man dunk. That's going to look insane because he's what, 6'9", 6'10". So he's going to be he's going to do something ridiculous. I mean, besides the fact that the Knicks are, oh my God, I wanted to be so good this year. The Knicks it's good when the Knicks are good. And God damn it, it's tailspin. We'll talk about that later, but I got Jalen Green. Parker, you going with your hometown boy?
I'm going Jalen Green. I know I probably watch too much of the pregame like layup line kind of stuff, but the dude can fly. He does some cool stuff, so that's what I'm going with. I do like Cole Anthony too, though. I think the little guy's got a shot.
Mr. Maserati.
I think Jalen Green is going to win it. but the finalists are going to be between him and Obi as well.
Oh, okay. Kev.
I would go with Cole Anthony. I do like shorter guys dunking, like
You
Spud
went-
Webb, Nate Robinson. They're my favorites because, like Parker said, yeah, they just have to go higher so it looks cooler. But I do not care. So,
Sounds like I need to break out the Nerf hoop and get that done. That's what that.
No, we had one of those on the wall in college, and I put a hole in our wall.
Sheesh.
I could just see Kevin trying to do some like Air Jordan shit and just hitting a box or something, going right through the wall.
Yeah, it was not good.
See, my buddy's playing those like it's a thing up here in Connecticut. It's called a Legacy League, where it's an 8.5-foot hoop. So you have grown ass men playing ball in an 8.5-foot hoop. It's hysterical.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I could even dunk on an 8.5-foot hoop when I was 280 pounds during the pandemic. So like that should tell you something about how much effort it takes to actually slam it on this rim. But I mean that's I think the only way we could get a dunk contest going. I foresee a lot of self alley-oops and windmills in our future.
Take the show on the road. I like this.
Maybe a back scratcher dunk or something like that, but nothing crazy. No, I think Kevin Siegler is gonna come out and do like a between the legs dunk. We're all gonna like faint.
No, I would try that, trip, drill my head off of the pole, and then have to go to the hospital.
That's fair. I mean, I would do one dunk and either my knees, ankle, or lower back would like give out.
Why not all of it?
Because my body isn't that cruel to me. Maggie, I think you're a little sick in the head.
She's gonna watch you guys get hurt dunking. That's quite a fan.
You know, no, just for Maggie, I'll have Ghost on my shoulder while I dunk Kevin.
That is very dangerous and sounds like a way to get your cat injured.
Parker, just for reference, Ghost is my 18-pound, 1-year-old kitten that is 2 hunting breeds, and he's like literally the size of a small bobcat. He's a monster.
That 18 pounds is a big cat.
Yeah, and he's all muscle and fur. There's nothing else on him. It's kind of terrifying.
Got a lot of agility as well.
Oh yeah. By the way, I used the laser pointer today. I put it at a point of a wall that was eye level with me. He hit it. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh my goodness.
There's nothing safe in my house anymore. I just gave up. All right. 3-point contest. I, of course, am rooting and picking Karl Anthony Towns. I'm just going to get that out of the way right fucking now. But it's kind of a loaded lineup.
Patty Mills.
We talked about it already. Patty Mills from my boy Maserati's Brooklyn Nets. We got Trae Young. Zach LaVine, sneaky good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum, the newest member of the Please Zion Don't Leave Us team. And we've got Desmond Bain and Luke Kennard. I know both can hit threes. And Fred VanVleet, famous for looking like, God, what is
Baby Drake.
Baby Drake. He also looks like me and Maserati's boy Denny, too. But yeah, dude, for the Raptors, that 19 team, he was with him and Pascal Siakam. They were that 3-headed monster with Kawhi, but oh Lord, like there's no like Steph Curry's or Klay Thompsons in this, but it's a lot of great 3-point shooters, which means this is going to be actually pretty electric. Yeah. I was thinking about this while we were talking about the dunk contest, because before the show, me and Kevin were talking about 3-point shootout. Usually doesn't get me out of bed. You don't get excited, but one, I got a T-Wolf in it, so I got to show up and represent my fellow Eagles fan and Jersey man, Mr. Cat. But also, it's also like this is a very balanced lineup, I would say. Like there's yes, Trae Young is a great 3-point shooter, but at the same time, like I don't know, he could literally just not be used to not having guys in his face. He could break a couple. I don't fucking know.
Yes.
So I think this is going to be a great fucking 3-point shooter. I think this might be actually the highlight of the night.
I also weirdly think the 3-point contest might be too close to the basket for Trae Young. Like he's not usually hugging the line like that. He's usually
firing them off from 40 feet out.
Right, like if they backed up or gave extra points for scooting back, I'd pick Trae in a heartbeat. Guys, but I wonder if it's almost too normal a shot.
We'll do it North Korea rules for Trae Young. It's
if you miss, you go to the work camp.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a different North Korea rule. That's not the same.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
No, I guess because I think it's nothing but nets, like 4 points or whatever the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Oh my god, that'd be.
Oh, that one. Okay, my bad.
Jesus fucking Christ, Kevin.
I mean, look at Curry. When Curry and Clay were in the 3-point contest, they ended up losing to Joe Harris as well because, I feel like they're not really used to shooting open.
The Brooklyn boy, Joe Harris.
Contested. They need to be contested.
Oh my god.
well contested, and Curry off the both Curry and Trey off the dribble, and it's not really the same as like what makes them special is like a different deal.
I agree.
I
definitely got Patty winning this.
I probably should be the person that looked this up, and I didn't look this up. Would Zach LaVine be the first person to win the dunk contest and the 3-point contest?
Oh man,
Because
I
like
thought
that's
about that
quite a
too.
career.
wow.
The king of all
Like-
star right there.
The only guy I can think of that would have been close would have been like old Vince Carter, and old Vince Carter never did it.
No, Vince Carter didn't become a good 3-point shooter until he was like end of his New Jersey Nets days.
Yeah.
As of 3 years ago, no.
So
So
No.
also no now.
Yeah.
like, I'm trying well,
The
it wasn't Joe
earliest
Harris.
answer- Whoa, Joe Harris got robbed in the dunk contest. You could just tell the raw athleticism of that man.
It
Listen,
would be a
Brett-
cool accomplishment.
Brett
right?
Barry won a dunk contest. Anything is possible.
True.
Surprised he didn't also win a 3-point contest, I guess. But
Yeah,
that's,
that's actually. I'm actually. That was my in my back of my head. I'm like, wait, Brett Barry won a dunk contest. Wasn't he a 3-point shooter? Or like maybe like what's his face? Desmond Mason or Trevor Ariza, I feel like would have had a shot.
Yes.
Those three and D guys who had crazy hops.
Literally.
over the course like of their career.
Yeah.
But if Zach LaVine's the first, that's a really cool accomplishment. Like that's a lot of
Low
great.
key, like if Cat doesn't win, obvious team reasons, I would love to see Levine do it because that'd be fun.
You got to get a Bean jersey if he does that.
I think
Timberwolves.
I want Levine to win it now for that. Also, because he is the most iconic draft day moment ever.
Just like rolls his eyes when he gets drafted by the Timberwolves.
Oh, he did not just roll his eyes. He very clearly yelled, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, but also,
How would
buddy,
you feel as like a GM or a coach? You just draft this guy. He's going to be the future of your team. And they show his face, fuck.
ask the San Diego Chargers what happened in 04.
That's
Literally,
different.
with Eli.
They were told before that he would not.
Yeah, but like, okay, it's so funny
And they
because like,
did it anyway.
you know what? You know what the worst part is like Zach LaVine. I've followed this kid's career since because I think he's my graduating class.
I believe so.
Or he's the year after. But I remember watching this kid from the get-go. And I'm like, this kid, he's a little bit of a snot for like rolling his eyes about this and like saying, oh, fuck the Timberwolves. But it's like, you know what? I don't blame him because my fucking Wolves up until the Jimmy Butler year were dog shit. And then afterward, they had to restart again. But now they may have found their chosen one in Anthony Edwards. But
Kind of like the Sixers were kind of dog shit until they got Jimmy Butler, and then we had to restart. And now they've got a chosen. Is that like?
Okay, no.
Well, no.
The Sixers had Embiid this whole time. The Sixers had Embiid this whole time. Who honestly, Embiid and Harden, by the way, we'll talk about this in about 5 minutes. But God, the East looks a lot different to me now. I'm kind of liking how the East is looking.
That team is still garbage.
And
The Celtic fan speaks.
Oh my!
Yeah, the Sixers lost to the Celtics by what, 38?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
45, I think it was.
Yeah, 45.
45. And then
Well, who's
the
counting? Who's counting?
Celtics the next night go out and lose to Detroit.
Barely.
Well, how am I supposed to feel about the Pistons? The Celtics aren't that good.
Speaking of Detroit, anybody want to talk about the skills comp? We can pass that over.
I do not care about the skills comp.
Yeah, I don't either. Because they said Detroit, so I thought Cade Cunningham, he's in the rookie. There's an Antetokounmpo team, which is kind of lit.
Oh.
It's a fun idea.
I
It's
like
a fun
that.
idea.
But all right.
This is random, but did you guys see if Zion doesn't play the rest of the year, he'll have played 3 more games than Greg Oden over the start of their careers?
Holy fuck.
Wow.
Wow.
Zion's played 85, Oden played 82.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I just want to bring that up.
Of course you did, buddy.
I think it's hysterical.
You know what's so funny? It's like, am I the only one? Okay, we'll still talk about like right now. We're looking at everything we'll start with standings right now. So the biggest surprise for me at the rip is that. All right, somebody's echoing like a motherfucker right now.
I'm gonna go with the one who doesn't have headphones on.
Yeah, but either way, all right. Bulls 38-21, leading the Eastern Conference. Miami game behind them. Bucks right on their tail. In the West, it's basically just Phoenix, then there's Golden State, then everyone and Memphis, and then it just kind of just fades away from there. I'm not gonna go homer too much, but like one of my biggest surprises, my Wolves are the 7th seed right now. I'm kind of liking this a little bit. They're like a couple wins away from being a not a play-in team, which is kind of lit. And it's definitely something optimistic to think about.
The Cavs are surprising as well.
Even if they are a play-in team, Jared, you should just take that as a win.
Dude, the fact is, I win $20 from JD if Minnesota makes the playoffs as the 7th or 8th seed.
Well, and the play-in is like just a 1-game sample. So if you get to the 1 game, it's like anything can happen. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, I had to yell at this kid on air because he tried to like backtrack our bet. He goes, no, they can't be in a play-in game. Like, if they're a 7th or 8th seed pre this play-in game bullshit, they would have been in the playoffs. And he goes, and Samir's like, yeah, JD, that does sound kind of bullshit. You're trying to ask him to be a 6th seed. It's really splitting hairs. So he goes, fine. And, it's still $20. I think I even amped it to 25 when the season started. But, oh, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic about my team for the first time. The last time I was this optimistic, we had K-Love, we had Rubio. I was kind of sketchy about the Jimmy Butler and Towns Wiggins year. I kind of sensed how bad that chemistry was. But the Bulls, like I watch them when they're on TV now. If I see they're on like one of the games of the night for TNT or ESPN, I automatically watch it. They're just fun. Also,
Lonzo's fun, Levine's fun.
I'm a big DeRozan guy too. That's why I'm happy to see him in a Levine play.
The deal there is that like Lonzo's like sneakily 6'5", 6'6". Levine is 6'6". DeRozan's 6'6". Vooch is 6'9", 6'10". Like they really all kind of just like switch on defense. They don't anything too crazy because like if it's a Lonzo and DeRozan switch, it's like 6'6" guy to 6'6" guy. They don't give up a whole lot of like size and speed or length or anything. They're really good. I don't have any bar to trust them in a playoff series. Like I haven't seen any of them play. Like I don't know what it's going to look like.
I feel like with the Raptors because DeRozan just now, but like I feel like with the Bulls, it's like they're going to be that team. They're going to play like a shit 8th seed, and either if it's like LeBron's Lakers, then yeah, it might be a 7. No, wait, wrong conference. Duh. But if it's like an experienced 8th seed right now, all right. So right now, the 8th seed would be Mr. Maserati's Nets or the Charlotte Hornets if the season ended today. Hornets, I give the edge to the
Lonzo LaMelo's fun story though. That's a fun one.
That'd be great, but I feel like the Bulls have just so much more firepower.
Yeah.
Where if it's the Nets, oh god, it's Kevin Durant. He could just literally go fucking off for 4 games. So also I'm actually kind of excited to see how Ben Simmons fits in with Brooklyn.
Me too.
Because I mean, I feel like he just was kind of just done with Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey. So I mean, like, I feel like it might work. It might work up here in Brooklyn. And also they get another shooter in Seth Curry.
Yeah.
They get the ghost of Connecticut's favorite son, Andre
UConn.
Yes. Oh, God.
Brooklyn's the second best place. Like the only thing better would have been like the Warriors, right? Where he like has all of the best shooters of all time. Like the Nets are probably the second best situation he could have realistically landed in.
Honestly,
it's wild.
I think this trade helps the Nets more and more and more.
Yeah.
About it. See, our boy, a friend of the show, Frank Michael Smith, he was talking about how neither trade won on his show, and I texted him, I'm like, Frank, you realize they got smoked last week, right? And he goes, Yeah, but I feel like Harden's still gonna work. I'm like, all right, we'll see. I'm gonna have actually Frank's coming on the show in March. Because I'm gonna bust his stones about that when the Sixers inevitably lose another 5-6 games by 30 points. Because say what you want about Simmons, he wasn't playing, but when Simmons did play, Simmons was a good defender. James Harden is part of the Olay crew, just like Kevin Love and all the other great one side of the ball players. But oh boy, honestly, I like we never really talked about the trade much, but like I think the Nets are going to be flying up that they're going to be flying up the standings pretty quickly, Parker. That's my. I know you're going to go soon, but what's your opinion on that?
My thing is it's still entirely contingent on how much Durant and Irving play. I think that it like weirdly makes them still, if the two guys play, this like powerhouse or the big three of sorts, because like Ben Simmons is a great third. I just feel like if Durant doesn't play, Ben Simmons is still like fine, that whatever. And if Kyrie Irving still can't play home games and stuff, fine. There's still this, having the two of those guys there for Ben Simmons to pass the ball to. That's where you start having a lot of fun. You can't help off, so you have driving lanes and so on. Seth Curry obviously opens up some more passing as well. But if those issues don't go away, I don't know what it helps. Whereas like in Philadelphia, I don't know. I feel like the deal in Philadelphia, the fit kind of like is very obvious to everyone. Like the pick and roll threat of Harden and Embiid makes a lot of sense. Embiid is a 3-level roller or a guy that can ISO after he catches the ball. Like that opens up a lot of stuff. Obviously you don't want to lose a shooter like Seth Curry, but that's kind of the cost of doing business, I think. Right. So I think there's less things you're like contingent on in Philadelphia. So like I think I said in FN Sports, like that's why I feel like they won the trade, because like there's just, you're worried about less. But if both teams play to their fullest potential, I think Brooklyn's a better team. Like the idea of healthy Durant playing Kyrie and Ben Simmons as the point forward that leads the defense, whatever, like the goal in Golden State was to have the two best shooters of all time around him. And in Brooklyn, he's got two of the next best. Like, what team has two better shooters besides Golden State than Kyrie and KD, right? Like that's as good as it gets.
Also, Seth Curry too, following there. So I mean, like,
yeah,
I feel like Brooklyn's kind of. I feel like Brooklyn might have made like the right recipe as long as everyone stays healthy.
Well, most definitely. I feel like Brooklyn is better to contend for a championship now than they were last year, because for Harden, we gave Houston a lot. We gave up. Well, even with the Cavs as well too, we gave up Karis LeVert, we gave up Jared Allen, so there was a lot of depth problems, right? Where now we got more for Harden, where we got a 3-point shooter. Kyrie doesn't always have to shoot. KD doesn't always have to shoot. You can give the ball to Seth, and on top of that, you got Drummond, where all he has to really do is just rebound. So I feel like the Nets are better equipped now for a championship than they were last year, especially getting a playmaker and the defensive end of Ben Simmons.
Fair. All right, Parker, I know you got to go right now. Quickly, what is your lookout for the Houston Rockets going forward?
We're looking at Paolo Banchero and
nice.
we're looking at draft, buddy. We're looking
perfect,
at draft.
man. And listen, I've been in those shoes. Optimism breeds hope, baby. Come on. All right, Parker, host of FN Sports, Midweek Midrange, and one of the best basketball writers at Belly Sports. If you haven't read his stuff, check it out right now. One of the few writers here. I always look for his articles. Thank you, great Parker Hainsworth. Man, thanks for stopping by, brother. Have a great weekend, all right?
Y'all take care, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, see you, man.
Have a good one, Parker.
All right, Mr. Maserati, me and you running the show right now.
How's it going, man?
So I want to talk about this with you. Because when we talk basketball, I'll send you Anthony Edwards clips all the time. Because that's my dude, right?
Of course. Well, that's my dog too, bro. He's one of the main reasons why I'm leading in my fantasy league right now.
Fair enough. So he's got the ankle injury, so he's gonna be out probably till after the All-Star break. I'm totally okay with that. I don't care. It's like, listen, he'll heal up. He'll be good for the playoff push. I was having this conversation with a buddy of mine the other day. Listens to the show, watch a lot of basketball. He says to me, he goes, "Hey, listen, I love Edwards, but it's like I don't trust him being the A guy." And I was like, "How you figure, sports fan?" Because I'm like, this dude hit a 3 in Braun's face and did the John Cena afterward. Yeah. I guess this kind of comes back to the whole argument of like how basketball is in this weird split between guys with like the killer instinct, like Kobe, Bron, D Wade. Actually, no, take Bron out of there. Sorry, Kobe, Melo, D Wade, Jordan, KG, and like the newer guys. Like I'll say like Steph's got it. Damian Lillard definitely's got it. KD's got it. I'd even give this to Anthony Edwards. I think he's one of the newer. Like I haven't seen Melo show off that I'm going to beat you and I'm going to make it hurt kind of mentality. But I've seen Edwards throw it, and it kind of gets me excited because out of all the guys on our team, I think D'Lo has the killer instinct, but doesn't have the star level game. Towns is the star level game, but does not have the killer instinct. So that's where, like, as like a Wolves fan, I look at Edwards. He's kind of like the hybrid of both. This dude's a 6'6" muscle of a human, dunking on people. One of the fastest rookies ever to hit X amount of 3-pointers. He's pure entertainment. His attitude's amazing. He loves Minnesota. We just locked up Pat Beverly for another year, which gets me even more excited.
Yes.
Because, by the way, Loki's sneaky great addition. Dude can play. Dude's a great 3-and-D guy. And you know what the best part is? It's just like the Wolves just keep getting better and better as their chemistry grows.
I agree.
We also got this dude out of Argentina whose name I cannot pronounce. I will not attempt on air. But apparently he's supposed to be the new Manu. And he's one of our role guys off the bench with Jared Vanderbilt and Jalen Noel. It's looking up for us, okay? I know you
yes, of course.
Nets fans have been used to winning your entire lives, but for me,
no, not the entire. No.
For us. I mean, yeah, there was that like 4-year stretch after Vince Carter left, but then you got like Devin Harris and all those dudes. Yeah, so it's like it hasn't been all like it. Yeah, there was a couple dark years, but you Nets guys have been enjoying the fruits of greatness for a while. So at least making the playoffs.
But for the Timberwolves fan, yes, just going back to Anthony Edwards, he does a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet, and that's what makes him great, and besides of obviously, doing the "you can't see me" LeBron's face and stuff like that, he'll have a lot of conversations with his teammates where he's like, well, look what we did here. If you do this differently, then I can get you open, or I can get open, and we can get shots up like that. So having that IQ as well, it's going to be phenomenal for Minnesota for these next years to come.
Oh yeah, I'm optimistic because I think they finally found their corner piece guy. Where
and Cat,
like, I feel like, listen, I love Cat, but the problem is Cat don't have that dog in him. I think Kevin Garnett needs to pull that dude aside by his neck and be like, "Yo, listen, motherfucker, you got to do this shit. Like, you the new big man. Like Minnesota's always had good big men. Like George Mikan when the Lakers were out in Minnesota, you got Tom Gugliotta, Kevin Garnett, Al Jefferson, Kevin Love. Minnesota's always had a good big man. So it's like even though like Jefferson and Love were kind of spineless, but like KG and Gugliotta were not. George Mikan, of course, one of the greatest like big man of like the early years. But Lakers or whatever, it's a Minnesota team. That's why I'm making the joke. But I don't know, I think like that's why I like Edwards over Towns is because Edwards has that like I'm going to end you instinct where I feel like Towns is like, all right, cool. I dated a friend of the Kardashians. What'd you say, Kev?
Well, Towns is kind of a bitch.
Oh, I know he.
And I was going to say, you said KG needs to pull him aside by that. That doesn't work with Towns.
I know. It didn't work with Wiggins.
And rock him to sleep every night.
Yeah. See, like Garnett tries to pull that with Edwards. Edwards might right hook him. Like this dude has no fear. Dude, literally, I was saying to Mr. Maserati while you were away. My dude hit a John Cena in LeBron's face after he hits a 3 as a rookie. I was like, who the fuck is this kid? He just basically looked at like one of the top 5 greatest players of all time and goes, oh, like, I mean, him and the LA Lakers retirement home tour. Oh, can we talk about the fucking parade? Okay. How Bron wanted this to be for the Dodgers and Lakers, 2 of the 3 teams I hate the most in sports. It's like, God damn it. Oh, my Lord.
Aaron Donald was at the Laker game last night, and LeBron went crazy over that. Yeah.
I mean, the dude is in such good shape. The alcohol tolerance has to be about 1 sip of beer.
Nothing tops Jason Kelsey, though.
At least Donald didn't watch someone break her back and then walk away.
Oh my god!
Oh my
bro.
god.
I'm also joking. I don't
I
think it's
know.
that big a deal.
Oh no, no.
Hammered.
Apparently
They
the
reached out to
Stafford-
her apparently.
Yeah,
Like him and his wife reached
apparently-
out to her.
The newest thing is apparently now Kelly Stafford announced it on the, I guess over her because I guess she's up bigger on social media than Matt is. I guess the Staffords are covering all of her medical bills. They paid for all of her new equipment, and she's also got like a GoFundMe to cover her expenses while she's in the hospital. So like she's hopefully she makes a full medical recovery. If she does, she'll be okay, and like everything will be okay. It just wasn't a good look when I saw that video. I was like, oh, I just like I'm like, oh boy. The best tweet I saw though was Tom Brady saying mix in a water, Matt.
That was legendary. I love that.
Oh my god, I love as much as Brady pissed me off with the little Meek Mill shit after he beat us. It's okay, buddy. Tom, it's okay. We still got you where it hurt.
You
I
act
do
like
respect
that was
his
the
humor.
only time they played in the Super Bowl. You act like Tom Brady didn't extend your suffering by another 14 years.
No, it's okay. No, because 2017 was payback for 04. But
yes,
we were square, and then Tom had to make it personal again. That's why I got upset.
Mm.
No, you're saying you got him where it hurts.
Yeah,
Didn't.
my favorite. No, all I'm saying is like
What are
my
you guys,
favorite thing is
2-1 against or 1-2 against them in the playoffs?
you didn't let me finish here. Actually, we're 2-5 against Brady all time regular in postseason. But what I was saying was during the my favorite thing is during the Manning Brady golf thing.
Oh,
when
man.
like they try to like heckle him, like Peyton goes Giants, he goes no. The only team I'm fucking scared of is the Eagles. That's that's what I'm referring to. We may lose games to him, but every time he leaves a game against us, he fucking is hurting. All due respect to the GOAT,
Hey.
greatest player of all time, but he's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Also,
Do you think he's going to come out of
for
retirement?
you guys to win a Super Bowl? Just saying.
No, whatever. I don't think he's come out of retirement. I think he's done. I think he did that because Gronk said he wanted to play with Burrow, and he kind of was just like a little nudge at Gronk. Really? I feel like he's gonna be like all about it, and then he's gonna feel like, wait, I have to do 2-a-days. I don't have to get myself ready from like March 31st through August 31st. I'm just straight prepping, ready to go.
He doesn't give a shit. He's a sociopath.
I know he's a sociopath, but I feel like he's gonna spend 1 month with Giselle on vacation down like in some random island nobody's ever fucking heard of, and it's gonna be like, and he's gonna sit there and he's like, you know what? I could just do this.
Yeah,
I could just make a couple guest appearances on the Manning cast, or maybe see if I want to call a game occasionally. But it's like I could just do this. And I think that's what's going to happen, because I feel like Tom is so been grinding and just trying to prove everyone wrong for so long. He's going to sit back and be like, oh my God, this is what it's like to not have to give a fuck. Because I think he like experienced it a little bit when he won the Super Bowl with the Bucs last year, where like we saw drunk Tom Brady, which by the way,
that was
is
awesome, by the way.
My favorite Tom Brady.
I think he might come back. The minute I see him eating, well, the Bucs, he's 49ers? Not a free agent technically. No. Here's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, but he grew up a 49ers fan. Yeah, he's also said that his allegiance to the 49ers ended when they passed him up 6 times and took Karmazi instead.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie. If the Eagles passed up on me 6 times, if I was waiting on it, I would be a little pissed off too, at the least.
The only reason he would go to the 49ers is if he thought it would help him get another ring. He's not going to do it out of allegiance. It's not. Yeah. People are like, oh, it might be a regret in his career. It's not. He does not give a shit.
No, it's same with like Rodgers, who apparently, by the way, Rodgers broke up with Shailene Woodley, so Denver roll it out.
I'm telling you, Rodgers to Tennessee. But the minute I will change my mind on if Brady's coming back or not is the minute I see him eating a cheeseburger. If I see a picture of him eating a cheeseburger
or a hot dog or anything,
he's not coming back. A tomato. If there's tomatoes anywhere near his plate, no, he's done.
You know what's so funny? Like tomato, a lot of people consider tomatoes healthy, but Brady is like, no. His whole TB12.
They're nightshades, so they're not anti-inflammatory, which is why he doesn't eat them.
Well, that's also why you should.
And strawberries.
Also, certain types of peppers too. I forgot. Mr. Maserati is a welcome member of the TB12 method. That's why. So he knows
Of
all this
course,
shit.
liability is key.
Yeah, I could have used that when I fucking pulled a muscle in my fucking shoulder on Thursday at work. Dude, calling out of work fucking blows. By the way, it was nice not to get up at 5:30 for about like an hour, and then I'm just like pissed off. I was like, fuck, I could be making money right now.
Yeah.
So
that's why you gamble in sports.
Yeah, okay. My like negative $120 like total earnings. Even I've won like $300 total in gambling. I've probably lost about 500. No, I've probably lost about 400. I've lost probably at least $80 above what I've won.
I
at least even.
I was talking to my family about this because they better legalize gambling in the Commonwealth. But if they do, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to have $10 a month. I can split it up however I want, and I'm just going to put them on ridiculous parlays.
Dude, that's what I've been doing, and I never hit.
I do it like $10 a week. $10 a week.
I had one that almost tagged, and I was just like, oh, it would have been like, I think it was $9,000 I had looking at it. I was like, oh my God, I have to actually pay taxes on my gambling money. This is great. But it's like, and then Odell tears his ACL. I was like, fuck.
Also, if I do that and one hits, Jared will never hear the end of it.
I'll also be like, it's okay. Your mother left you. Mine didn't.
Fair.
Oh my goodness.
It's the ultimate trump card with Kevin.
Not when your own mother wants to adopt me.
I'll still be the favorite son. It's okay. Even though like she always asks it when Mr. Maserati's coming back to hang out at the house.
Hey,
you might have Kevin. You might have gotten replaced.
That's fun.
We're all her sons essentially.
Yeah,
but I'll take third place.
Donna Clem is the GOAT. We know this.
I'll take third place. It's better than being second to a box of wine.
Technically third because I think Amanda might beat you out there too.
Well, I'm talking about sons, and the box of wine supersedes all of us.
Oh, fair. Jesus, I'm just, it's like I want to talk about NFL headlines, but like besides like Stafford and like the photographer falling, for once it's pretty quiet first week off of the season. I'm like kind of impressed and sad at the same time.
Really, I'm hearing a lot of Roger stories.
Yeah, but it's like besides him breaking up with Shailene, nobody gives a shit. Cardinals did cut Malcolm Butler today.
Yeah, he was on their retired list.
Yeah,
the Falcons cut
Kyler Murray as well.
Apparently, according to Kirk Cousins, he may not in ESPN. He may not take a pay cut. So we may have a Vikings.
You like that?
Yeah, you like that?
Are you kidding me?
What?
I wouldn't take a pay cut.
I mean, but also I might get him cut. Like the Vikings.
Okay, so he gets a buyout.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You're not buyout, but he gets like the guaranteed money up.
Okay, so Kevin, you'll love this, right? There is a rumor going around that Brady is a name to watch in ownership groups for the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh.
Right? He owns them on the field, and he owns them off the field.
Brady's not a name to watch for an ownership group. Giselle is the name to watch for an ownership group because she has way more money than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love this, right? Everyone's talking about like, can we talk about the Saints for a minute? Because I saw like this whole headline today about the Saints, Rodgers, and then like I saw a report like from Pro Football Talk like an hour ago. It was like there's no chance that Rodgers goes to Saints. I'm like, yeah, well, no shit. One, they're in cap hell. Two, I don't give a fuck who their head coach is. The only optimism they would have gotten out of me is they went with Bieniemy or Flores. Dennis Allen, no, I don't care. I don't care if he's Sean Payton's heir apparent. Usually the second guy doesn't work out that well, usually after a year or two. Also, their star running backs looking at a year to 15 in prison. Michael Thomas, exactly, who is literally like just, not playing. I think his ankle has had like 15 surgeries in the past 2 months.
He's pulling a Ben Simmons on the Saints.
and he wants out, obviously. Your quarterback situation is famous Jameis, Taysom Hill, and Trevor Siemian.
Hey, Jameis lit it up before he got in.
Oh, he did. He was so much
Yeah.
fun to watch. Jameis Winston
He can
and
see now.
Trayvon Diggs, Jameis Winston, the same player, by the way.
I think that's insulting to
Jameis.
Oh, wait. Actually, I was thinking about this week. I know how to fix Trayvon Diggs.
Put him at safety.
Do what Devin McCourty did.
Ooh.
McCourty led the league in interceptions at cornerback early in his career, then forgot how to cover people, switched to free safety. He's
All
been
pro,
in the
like
league
all
for
time.
over a decade now. He's all
Isn't
pro.
he like 35 years old and he's still like a top 10 safety?
Yeah. Just put
Yeah.
Diggs at safety.
Yeah.
But, the Cowboys aren't that fucking smart. They haven't had a good safety since Roy Williams.
And they could have one if they put fucking Trevon Diggs at safety.
But they won't do it because Jerry Jones all about that football. It's so funny with me with Trayvon Diggs, and it's just they were talking about who's the best corner in the NFL right now. They were comparing Diggs to Revis, and I'm like, no, stop it, enough. I think Revis one year shut down like 4 Pro Football Hall of Famers and 3 like multi-time All Pros in the same season. Trayvon Diggs allowed 100 yards to I think it was Bourne. Kendrick Bourne had like 100 yards against them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So did Kadarius Toney.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We'll see how that guy's a great receiver, right?
My least favorite take I saw after the NFL honors was people complaining Diggs got robbed of Defensive Player of the Year. First off, as a defensive back, that's an extremely difficult award to win.
You have to literally have like a cover. You have to win all the analytical ratings. You have to win at least like one of them, like interceptions, pass deflections, something like that, or forced fumbles in the safeties case. You have to like literally have and you have to at least have multiple defensive touchdowns. The thing is, Diggs had the defensive touchdowns and picks, but analytically wise,
yards.
And 1,000 yards he gave up. Like what? You know how many Darius Slay gave up this year? Who didn't even list? And this isn't even fan bias. It's just me saying a 31-year-old Darius Slay or 30-year-old Darius Slay gave up less than 600 yards total, and he got, I think it was maybe less than 500, but at least less than 600 yards total. Yeah. It's J.C. Jackson. I think gave up less than 500.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson is really good. He's a better corner than Trayvon Diggs. Diggs
He's a dog.
Top 3 corners in the league right now, honestly, in my opinion, playing right now are J.C. Jackson, Jalen Ramsey, and Slay. 3. You tell me they need to cover one guy, Slay's of course 3 because J.C. Jackson's a missile, and Jalen Ramsey is Jalen Ramsey.
If he leaves, I'm gonna cry.
I really hope. I know, buddy. I pray for your sanity. He's an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Because he's coming off the tag.
I really wish we didn't. I really wish we could re-sign Steven Nelson, but he is 30 years old. And I really don't feel like repaying for him. So he played a great year too. He finished top 25 in corners with 30 in PFF rate grade. So I was like, that's great. Problem is we can't rush anybody. This offseason, Kevin.
You put Slay over Jaire Alexander?
Yes, because he was healthy. You said it yourself. Availability is the best trait.
I agree. Yes.
I'll catch you on your own line, dude.
No. Fair enough.
Like
That's fair.
Jaire Alexander, the problem with Jaire Alexander also is he can't tackle running backs. He just won't. And I mean, that's not
Neither
really
did
like the
Sanders.
worst.
Neither did
No, guys, we all know the best cornerback in the league is Eli Apple. Just stop it. Former Giants first-round pick, Eli Apple.
Oh, man.
I have no ties to the city of New Orleans. I've never been there. I hate Eli Apple.
I want to go there.
Comments about New Orleans.
Eli Apple has played for 3 teams. Like, it's so funny. Eli Apple was drafted by the Giants, was traded to the Saints, annoyed the hell out of everyone when he's in New Orleans. Goes to the Panthers, gets cut. Goes to the Bengals, makes the biggest play of their fucking season, then gives up the biggest play of their fucking season within a 3-week stretch. And then has the and you know what the problem is? Should be a lesson to you folks at home. Karma is a bitch. Okay?
Wait, what?
Do not start talking. What?
What play did Eli Apple make?
Stopping Tyreek Hill. when it was about to be 28-7 at half.
Okay, I was thinking the Von Bell interception.
Also,
That Eli Apple dropped an interception.
Eli Apple dropped a walk-in pick six. Like literally, Kevin, you, me, and Johnny could have ran that one back. I know our 40 times aren't all that great, but like it was the red sea. There was the receiver was going that way. He was here and it just hit off his hands. But oh my god.
Ooh, Trayvon Diggs is Eli Apple, but with hands. That's the new take.
Wee. Hot take.
It's not right because Trayvon Diggs is a ball hawk. He just jumps routes, but also can't cover. Eli Apple just can't cover. But I'm just going to say that to piss off Cowboys fans.
I mean, Cowboys fans are Cowboys fans. I like this list already. So I'm looking at this right now. Best under 25 free agents right now. Couple names. DJ Chark, David Njoku, James Daniels, Juju. Oh, God. Pittsburgh's another mystery to me. You have Christian Kirk as well. You have Dalton Schultz, who had a resurgence. I think Dalton Schultz stays in Dallas, honestly. Jordan Whitehead, I feel like the Brady decision is going to affect but I feel like Whitehead's young enough where he'll take a big deal from another team. I can see him going to like the Jets or something like that. I really could.
Same thing with Godwin as well, too.
Yeah. Godwin I could see going to like Green Bay or wherever, like following Rodgers.
Green Bay doesn't have the money.
I know. I'm saying like if Rodgers goes to Tennessee, I feel like they could go at him because I don't think I think Julio's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's just signed a 1 year with Tennessee.
If he's not, just make him take a pay cut.
Yeah, right. Jesse Bates is another one. I forgot how young he is. Marcus Williams. Harold Landry. I keep forgetting this guy's only like 25 years old.
I do not believe you. I don't. Dude's been in the league forever. I do not believe you that he is 25.
25 and under class for free agents. He's literally the number 4 slot in the list.
Okay, they're also wrong. Whoever's list that is wrong. He is no way he's 25.
Go look it up.
No, I'm just going to stay in my ignorance and say there's 0% chance this man is 25.
Yeah. Jesus. I hate how twitchy the Bleacher Report app is. I swear to God. Get your shit together, Bleacher Report. All right, number 2.
Literally.
How is Carlton Davis the second highest free agent? He was a serviceable corner at best for Tampa. Orlando Brown, I get that. That makes sense.
Also, the tight end free agent market's insane.
I know. Zach Ertz, I believe. David Njoku, Dalton Schultz.
Tunyon, Ingram, Hayden Hurst,
Big Bob,
Eric Ebron, CJ Uzama, OJ Howard, Mike Gesicki, and Gronk.
Jesus. It's a big class, man.
That's insane.
I know. Like a lot of teams, you know what the thing is? A lot of teams are struggling with tight end depth. A lot of teams are going to be happy. For once, I'm not in that class. My team actually has a decent tight end and a decent backup tight end.
For once, you guys had a decent tight end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, think about it.
For years.
I can't actually think.
Yeah,
okay, no, the
literally.
last time. Oh, 03. That was the last time we didn't have a top 10 tight end in the league. Like even Brett Selleck was like number 10.
The
Yeah,
last
Brett
time
Selleck
Patriots didn't have one was 2020.
Yeah. Come on, you can't tell me Matt Ossie isn't a good tight end. Come on.
No, Dalton Keene was just got to 11, but couldn't crack that top 10.
Yeah, right. We had 2 top 10 tight ends at one point, and one managed to like piss us off enough. We're like, yeah, get the call to Arizona.
We had 2 top 5 tight ends at one point. Just one of them decided to kill everybody.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so funny. I watched 2 episodes of Aaron Hernandez documentary. I couldn't finish it.
Oh, the one where
Me neither.
The guy said he was
one.
gay.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it. I was like,
I watched an episode and a half, and I was just like, I'm done with this. Like, I get it. Like, the dude probably was like secretly gay in prison, whatever. Who cares?
No, it was high school.
High school.
Apparently.
In both prison and high school, apparently.
They played high school football together, and the guy's like, yeah, no, we were lovers.
Sheesh.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, then.
It's just, I find like, I watched an episode and a half of it. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I know how it ends. It's not like it's like nobody cared. It's like we all know, yeah, he got involved with some rough shit. He was secretly gay. He was a murderer, whatever. Cool.
It also
Probably-
ends with him being innocent. Fun fact.
Wow.
Per Massachusetts law, if you die before your trial, you're innocent.
Whew. Sheesh. That's crazy.
Fun fact for you.
I have a question for Kev though, because just speaking on the the upcoming NFL season. So I don't know if you recall, but when we were at the Vineyard, we were having football conversations in regards to the upcoming season, and I asked you about Mr. Sunshine T. Law, and you're like, Trevor Lawrence would be great if he was on another team, which I can see why you say that now. But leading up to this next season, what do you think Jacksonville has to do in order to take Trevor Lawrence to that next level?
Draft Evan Neal or Charles Cross, or trade back if you can to like 3 or 4 to get Evan Neal or Charles. Because I like Evan Neal. I think him at 1's a bit of a reach. He's not a generational talent at tackle. He's a very good tackle, but not generational. So you don't want to take him at 1. See if who's at 2 and 3. See if the Lions or the Texans really want Thibodeau or Hutchinson and are afraid 2 will take him. Try to do that.
I think that's going back up draft boards, by the way.
Some people have them that going up. Some people have them falling still, but either or Hutchinson or Thibodeau. That's what I would do. And then try to sign one of the tight ends on the market right now because we just listed them. They're all really good. And fucking feed James Robinson the ball.
Also, maybe go get Allen Robinson. He's going to be a bargain bin deal. Dude had a horrible fucking year in Chicago.
A Jacksonville reunion? That'll be
also, like, listen, Doug Peterson succeeds when he's got a lot of different weapons as a coach. So
that's also just a coach thing.
I know, no, as a coach,
like,
when he's got a coach.
No, but you're saying it's just Doug Peterson. Like, if you gave Bill Belichick or
I'm saying
Mike
his
Zimmer
offense works at its best. No, his offense works at its best when he's got a decent tight end, some decent receivers. Like, he doesn't need like 8 all pros. He just needs a lot of guys who can occasionally get open. So you take away one, there's 3 other guys that might get a shot at getting open. They don't need the all pro guys. Like, his offense was at its best when it was Alshon, Torrey Smith, Zach Ertz, and Jay Ajayi or LeGarrette Blount.
Also, people are starting to get wise on Allen Robinson and notice that for some reason Matt Nagy decided to phase him out of the offense after giving him a contract. Like, his targets went from 151, 155 to 66.
Yeah, I don't get because like he's not a bad receiver.
No.
By any stretch.
He's still a red zone target.
There's 28 teams in the league right now who could use him tomorrow.
Yeah.
I say 28. I say 28 because there's about 4 teams who have like their top 2 and 3 receivers are better or equal to him.
Like the Patriots, yes.
Just stop it. Actually, the Patriots are my dark horse for him, by the way.
They created a position. People aren't talking about this. The Patriots created the first ever blocking wide receiver. N'Keal Harry can't do shit, but he's a pretty good blocker. He should just move to tight end. He's big. He's tall enough.
That's hysterical. Oh my god. I feel like with the Jags, it's gonna be weird because I feel like the Jags gonna win a lot of games this year because they're gonna score points. Also, because Houston's fucking terrible.
And the Colts want to get rid of Wentz.
I'm waiting for this deal. It's been 6 days, Indy. You said within the week. You're fucking lying. I'm waiting for this trade or this cut. It's been 6 days.
Russia right now, also.
What?
So I feel about Russia right now. Just
come on.
Over with.
Oh, come on. Are you serious? They're just doing this to see how much Biden's going to overreact.
Yeah, that's why they built a bridge over a river from Belarus into Ukraine.
Exactly. It's all playing poker. I'm just fucking with you. Now, honestly, this seems to be odd because the quarterback market makes absolutely no sense.
Nope.
Okay, so I still think Rodgers to Denver, even with the Shailene Woodley thing, is still a thing. Tennessee, even though Mike Vrabel's like, oh no, Tannehill's our guy. Mike Vrabel's not stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
He may be ripping cigs and shooting dip and hitting dip before sprints, but like this man is not an idiot. He knows Tannehill is the reason they lost that game.
Maybe he wants to not tank, but maybe he wants to throw the playoffs every year so he doesn't have to cut his dick off.
It's Kevin's conspiracy theory of the day.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel really doesn't want to win a Super Bowl because he wants to keep his dick.
Yeah, right. The other thing is like, my biggest thing is I think Garoppolo to the Steelers is a real thing. I will bang on that drum for hours. Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. Jimmy G would fit that bill because he's not going to be the most ridiculous guy in the market. They can still go out and get other guys, and I think he would thrive with the weapons they have there.
Najee,
Deontay Johnson, Claypool, James Washington. Like, it's not a bad lineup. And honestly,
I don't know how much money they'd want to spend.
True, I mean, but also Jimmy G's he's not a free agent.
Yeah, so I don't know what San Francisco's asking price would be, and then to extend him, because I don't know when his deal's up, but he had a very good win-loss record in San Francisco. So if that continues, the agent will be asking for top quarterback money.
Oh yeah,
if Derek Carr is going to get $40 million, Jimmy G will get around that.
Which is asinine because like Carr is just basically like winning games for the Raiders, where Jimmy G is like, here's the Lambo, don't crash it. Hit a throw occasionally.
I thought I was about to hear some Carr slander, and I was going to lose my mind.
I am a big Derek Carr proponent. You know this.
Yes, I know. That's why I was going to lose my mind. Dude has more MVP votes than Russell Wilson.
Facts. Because unlike Russell, he performs after week 14.
I got yelled at by a Seahawks fan because I said I wouldn't trade Mac Jones for Russell Wilson.
I wouldn't trade Jalen Hurts for Russell Wilson. Rodgers or Watson, I would, but not Russell Wilson.
I would not give up anything for Watson.
If Watson's found not guilty, Watson. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but also, it's not just the quarterback. It's the quarterback and all the first-round picks we'd have to give up.
Yeah. That too. Because with Rodgers, I know I'm getting an MVP-level quarterback for 2 years or a year. Whereas which is fine because the quarterback class next year is fine. If I can find a way to keep one of our 3 first-round picks to go see if I can get a quarterback, great. Okay. We could probably also find a way to weasel Hurts into that deal or one of our younger guys. I'd be okay with the Rodgers move. Or Watson, I don't really like, but I'd rather Watson than Wilson. Wilson would actually make me a little annoyed because I don't trust Wilson after week 15. It's shown every year. His productivity falls off like a freaking nosedive.
Well, no, that's because their coaching staff changes up the offensive playbook.
Yeah. DK even said it as well.
Going into the playoffs. No, I'm not even joking. That is something that I've heard.
I know.
He played like an MVP, and then by like week 10, they decided to stop running that playbook and run the ball more.
My favorite part is how somehow Pete Carroll still has a fucking job.
Yeah, he has a ring, and this is his first losing season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like I've said, Kevin, 1,000 times, Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson are the 2 best rolls of duct tape a roster has ever had.
Yeah.
I feel like Bam Bam Cam, one of my favorite players when I was in college. Now, it's weird because like all of our teams are in weird spots. Like, Kev, your team is like in this weird limbo. Like, they're not as good as the Bills, but they're getting somewhere. I still think they're better than the Dolphins. My team, according to experts, is a quarterback away, but I want to see what Hurts can do one more year if he can make that one more jump, because he clearly made a big jump between year 1 and year 2. What can you do between year 2 and year 3?
You also need more than just a quarterback.
I know we could use linebackers as well and maybe another safety, but I
would take another wide receiver too.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
apparently,
I think you guys are projected to get a wide receiver in the draft.
Reportedly, we are the favorites to land Calvin Ridley, so that's the one thing I'm like.
Reportedly to who? Because I've heard like 4 teams are favorited.
Yeah, the thing is apparently him and Smith and Hurts are boys. That's why that might lean that way. I don't know. That's worked before in the past. I don't know if it's going to happen again. It worked with Slay and Nelson because Slay and Nelson have been boys. I don't know where the connection's from, but I guess they were. Apparently, also Howie wants to trade one of our first rounders for DK Metcalf. That's something else I've.
You would not get DK for a first.
I know, but that's what I've seen on NFL Network, and I'm like, why?
He might want to do that.
Oh, I know that's like what they're trying to like do a first for DK, and like the Seahawks be like, no first round picks, we get one back. Oh my god! But I know it's gonna be like a first and a third or at least. So,
I think it'd take more than that.
I think with like if you wanted to make a deal like that, the Eagles would wait until draft day. They would be like, it'd be like halfway to the first round. We'd have one of our picks off the board. And we'd be on the clock. We'd call Seattle like, hey, this pick's yours. Just give us DK and we'll give you this for this pick in a fourth for DK or a third.
Two firsts.
No, he's not worth 2 firsts.
Look at how many receivers want out of their current situation. DK has not shown any inclination that he wants out of Seattle. Keeping a guy that talented and also with that build, if Russ does one out and gets out, and you're going to come in with a rookie, a guy that fast and that big.
I'm only saying that trade was happening because apparently DK has now been put on the block. That's why. That's the only there's been rumors he's been put on the block. That's why the only reason I'm saying that. If he's not on the block, I would don't even offer. Because if he's on the block, then they're more willing to give us a more reasonable deal instead of 2 firsts for a receiver. It's that's insane.
I mean, just because they're on the block doesn't mean that they're gonna give you a better deal.
Oh, I know. Also,
so them 2 firsts could be a more favorable.
Yeah, but
deal.
Seattle also has the most asinine trade request. They've proven this over the years. So, because John Schneider, I swear to God, thinks he's a genius. But also, the new ownership with Seattle should make this really interesting. So,
agreed.
Paul Allen's sister should make this definitely. She might want to just nuke this thing and just start over.
They can't.
I know they're locked in with Russ.
And Wagner are so beloved in that city. They cannot.
I know. Well, they could get rid of Pete real fast. It wouldn't even They could be like, "Hey, Pete, so we're gonna want you to retire." The thing is, the only way I would say this is this is where I'm getting the tinfoil hat, right? It's because Flores and Bieniemy are still available. There's 2 decent head coaching candidates still available. They could easily pull the rug on Pete and still get a coaching staff that's actually decent.
I feel like Bieniemy might just be waiting for
Andy Reid. Yeah, that's my thought too.
Because this cycle, you didn't even really hear about him interviewing anywhere.
He only did it for New Orleans.
And them not hiring is fucking stupid.
But. I know. They're well, then again, we all have proven that New Orleans post Drew Brees is a terrible franchise.
Not really.
Post Drew Brees.
Yeah, not really. They were still winning games when their starting quarterback was winning games, and then he went down, and then their tight end quarterback hybrid also went down, and they seemed competent with their.
Sean Payton is a great coach.
That's my organization. That doesn't mean the Saints aren't a disaster post Drew Brees.
I think we're going back to the Aaron Brooks years. The next couple of years with the Saints. That's my honest.
Do you want to hear my Saints hot take?
Go for it. We got 2 minutes.
Archie Manning is not a great quarterback. He is a good to okay quarterback who happened to be on a terrible team and had good genes, so he's remembered more fondly. Do you know, and people are like, oh, but he was on the Saints. They were bad. Do you know what his record was when he left the Saints combined?
What was it?
0-5. He was 0-5 when he was not on the Saints. He's not a great quarterback.
Fair enough.
Every time people say he is, I get annoyed.
Fair. All right. We have about a minute 30 left. Last and final thoughts before we sign off. Mr. Maserati, anything you'd like to plug or talk about before you head off tonight?
First and foremost, Main Event Volume 1, streaming on all platforms right now as we speak. 2, I'm very excited for this All-Star weekend and obviously for the second half of basketball, as well as the Nets bringing a championship to New York. And obviously the draft as well, too. Speaking of TB12, Jared, we definitely need to try some avocado tequila. Let me know when you're open for that.
You know, I'm always open for a shot of tequila, but I don't know. Avocado tequila is pushing it. God.
Oh man.
All right. Kev, anything else for the fine folks before we sign off tonight?
Follow at Quad Tailgate on Twitter and Instagram, and Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. I think
Justin
Zach
Fields.
Wilson's ball placement and decision making is terrible.
He
All
got
right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up for the Corner Booth podcast. I am your host, Jared Clem. This is actually the Corner Booth. This is actually the Corner Booth pregame. Either way, I'm so used to doing the other one. But myself and Samir will be back on March 2nd. Another live show next Thursday with a couple more surprise guests. Shout out to Tiki Live for our Roku channeling. Check us out Roku, Apple TV, as well as any Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and everything else. But appreciate it. Check out my man Maserati, all of this stuff, of course. Main Event Volume 1 on all streaming platforms. Of course, check us out at Corner Booth. Peace out, folks.